Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'll walk you through how to use a flow data table in Salesforce to easily update the status of all cases related to an account to closed. It's a great way to streamline your case management and keep your records clean. Let's get started. First, we're going to be creating a formula field on the case object to display the account name. So the return type is text, and we want to be able to click on the account name. That's why we're using HYPERLINK. So I'm just going to going to grab this formula and I'll paste this in the description under this video. Now, next, we're going to create a screen flow. We're creating this flow from scratch, and it is a screen flow. We want to grab the get record element to get the current account ID. We're going to be launching this flow from the account record. We're filtering by ID, and for the value, we're going to create a new resource. Let's call that record ID. This is the ideal way of storing the record ID variable, and we're going to make it available for input. So leave that as default and save. So let's save that. Next, we'll be using the get record element. Let's call this get related cases. We want to get all related cases to the current account record. So the object will be case, and we're going to filter these by the account name, or account ID rather. So the account ID on the case record must match the current account that we're launching this flow from. So that is where we're going to select account from get current account ID, and then ID, account ID. So this time around, we're storing all the records. We're automatically storing all fields. Click on save. The next element we'll be using is the screen element, and the component we'll be using here is the data table. Drag the data table component onto the screen, and let's call this closed cases. Let's check use label as the table title, and that will be the label or the title of the table. Now, in order to configure the data source, we're going to use the record collection variable from get cases from get related cases. If you want to show the search bar, you can check that, and then you see search this list. We can configure the row. We want to be able to select multiple rows here. You can select the minimum or maximum. Let's make this 1 and then a maximum 10. You should be able to select a maximum of 10 records at once in this case study. Then we need to configure the columns as well. We need to add some fields. So this account name is the formula fit that we created at the beginning of this video. We're going to select that. You can as well rename this label. Originally, we named it account name, so I'm just going to leave that. You can wrap the text or click the text. Click on done. Let's add another column. Let's call these status, because we want to be able to see the current status. Click on done, and then let's add priority field. Now I have a custom priority field that I have already created, and this will show some icons based on the priorities selected by the user. So I'm going to check that, and I'll click on done. This time around, we also need to manually assign variables. So I'm going to check that. And we want to store the output of the selected records from this data table. So I'm going to create a record variable where we're going to store the selected outputs in. So let's call this new results, and it's a variable type, and let's say selected cases. Record, it's a record variable, and we're going to allow multiple values. The object is case. Check that and click on done. Done. Okay, we need to give our screen a label. Let's call this close multiple cases. Then done, and then save. Now we need to use the loop element to loop through the selected cases. So let's say loop through selected cases. And for the collection variable, we're going to use the selected cases record collection that we created, and we're going to iterate over the collection from first to last item. The next element is the assignment element, and let's just call this set case status to close. For the variable, we're going to use the current item from loop, and then the status. We'll set this to close. And we're going to use another assignment. For the variable, we'll be creating a new resource where we're going to store all these assignments. It's going to be a variable, and then we'll call this selected cases output. And then the data type is also a record variable, allow multiple values, and then cases. Done. So this record variable will be used to update the cases outside the loop. Remember, we don't use DML statements within a loop. So let's use the add operator here, and we're going to add the current item from loop through selected cases to this. Click on save. The last step here would be update records. We're updating case record to close. So this time we'll be using selected cases output to update this record. Click on save. Let's go into our org to select. First, we're going to check the cases that we have. So we have a number of cases here. I'm just going to expand for us to see. We have a few of them open: Laurel Boyle and Stella Pavlova. So we're going to be using this account the United Oil and Gas Corp account as the case study. I'm just going to grab the ID and we're going to debug our flow. Insert the ID, click on run. Now, because I created this formula with an hyperlink, that's why I'm able to click into this. Normally, this is one of the limitations of data table. You cannot click into any of the records shown on a data table in Flow at the moment. You can only display records on the data table. Maybe in future, we'll have the ability to be able to click into records. But because I've created this, when you click here, it's going to take you into the account record. We want to update this record and this other one. As you can see, all the statuses have been updated to closed. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.